Previously on Survivor Boston. The pure Yord alliance of Stefan, Roz, and Brandon felt in control of the game through their alliance with John and Sarah, and Brandon's alliance with Joe and Hannah.
Oh yeah, New York. We're the new kids on the blocks.
All eyes were set on the outsiders, Bram and Nick, but John had his own idea.
But I think that Hannah is like right now, right in the middle of everything.
And others quickly picked up on it. At Tribal Council, Joe tried to make Sarah paranoid so she would play an idol.
Someone could go home tonight, not gonna name any names or anything, but she may actually know.
But in the end, Brandon betrayed his alliance and joined John's plan with Roz, Stefan, and Sarah to get rid of Hannah, leaving the others shocked. 8 are left. Who will be voted out tonight?
Let's talk.
Okay.
What's she doing there? What happened?
Well, I know I definitely wasn't gearing towards that.
You did say a girl.
Yeah,
You
said
said
a girl.
Why
Why
did
did
you
you
say
say that?
You were truly just saying that to mess with people, didn't you?
No, I was trying to get you to play an idol.
I don't have one.
Where are these idols? Does no one have an idol? No one's gonna say anything.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I didn't say anything. But...
Hannah went home because I needed her to go home. I had 2 alliances that I have cultivated since the beginning. Hannah trusted Brandon enough to tell him that she had an idol. She was already a target in my head because she obviously had Joe and Nick on her side, and she was the powerhouse.
See, Roz and I were talking about voting on Nick.
Yeah.
But then I was the only one who cast that vote.
Yeah.
Who did you vote for?
What?
Yes, he voted for you. For me? Or for Hannah? I mean, 3 people voted for her. 3 people.
Yeah.
The plot thickens.
Yeah, honestly.
Hannah became a really big threat to my game, and that was not allowed to go on. Like in my book, that was. So we still had John and Sarah, and that was an easy 5. And you know what? It was time for a really exciting tribal, and it was sort of a perfect string of events.
So did half of us think that was gonna go one way? And half think it was gonna go the other?
I thought it was gonna be.
I thought it was gonna be me too. I was
ready for you.
about to go home and have some hot chocolate.
Being in that tribal, and when she got eliminated, I was like, oh my God. But I knew what was going on. I knew what was going on, and I feel so bad for it. The decision to get rid of Hannah was not an easy one. Hannah was one of the people who I got to form a good friendship with her, even though it didn't really have anything to do with the game. Hannah and Joe were inseparable. I knew that going forward, they were going to be a force to be reckoned with, because as the numbers dwindled, 2 becomes more powerful. I have Roz and Stefan in my corner, and I know that, whereas Joe and Hannah, while we're friends, and maybe they could take me to the top 3, there's no guarantee that that's gonna happen.
Damn. Okay. Well, I don't even know what else to say.
What was the conversation that made that happen?
Okay, well, I literally said a little bit ago. I was trying to get Sarah to play an idol because Laku gave her a clue back in the day, and she's not said anything since.
I showed a few people the clue because this is the same one that I can show you guys the clue. I don't know where it is.
But at the same time, didn't you give Hannah a clue?
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
So she easily could have had an idol.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
And if I'm being honest with you, she did. So.
Really? There you go.
That's dead, right?
It's dead. Yes.
You're telling the truth.
Are you just saying that, or
I
is
feel like
that?
you're
No.
just saying.
She had an
idol. It was in her shoe.
No way.
Tonight?
Smart.
Sure. Is Nick coming to the challenge? No, he's not. He has sunburns.
So wait, is he gonna be here tomorrow or?
Well, wait a minute. No. This is what it's
We're
going to
missing
be
a
on,
huge
on
Bram.
Sunday night.
This is
This
Sunday
is
night.
Monday night.
Oh.
It will be 6 people.
Where's Bram?
I guess he's out there.
Oh, I think he's in.
We do need to take away too.
I'm like, this is what it's going to look like tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's so gross. I don't even want to be there.
That's true.
God, okay, so, you know, I'm sitting there saying, like, oh yeah, it's one of the 3 girls in this room that's going home. They think they're safe, but they're really not. Because no one thought, I mean, at least from my end, obviously, thought that Hannah was gonna go home.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
I feel like you're like hurt.
Kind of, yeah.
I see it
But
in
it's
your
fine.
eyes.
It's fine. Don't worry about
Okay.
it.
God, that's not, it was not fun. It was like the first time, I try not to take the game of Survivor very personal, and like put things like, with an emotional connection to it, because, you know, it's a game. But like, that one hurt. That one hurt a lot. Not only because, you know, she was holding an idol literally in her shoe, and all that other stuff, but like, because she's like a really close friend to me, and like, if I would at least like to know if she was like going home or something, so I could at least like tell her, but I guess that's why they didn't tell me, obviously.
You said that if I wouldn't like vote for someone else, like right then, because it's just too much like, there's like planning that goes into voting for someone. If you're just like, I'm a girl, I'm gonna vote for someone else, and like, I don't know. That's too scary to me.
I mean, shaking in my boots though.
Yeah, it worked.
Well, it didn't. You don't have an idol.
It's not looking good for my next tribal, I can tell you that, because it's like, I gotta win the next challenge, if anything.
Well, now the game has some fire.
All right, are you guys ready to get to your next immunity challenge?
Yeah.
Yes. Some of you are excited. Brandon, I'll take that back. Oh. Once again, immunity is back up for grabs. For today's challenge, we are going to be playing a Survivor Classic. The goal is really simple. You got to be the last one standing with your hand above your head. First off, everyone can just raise their hands real quick and just make sure that they can touch their ropes. Basically, the last person to have their hand above their head will win immunity, guaranteed a 1 in 7 shot of the game. The rest of you vulnerable at becoming the 4th member of the jury. For immunity and a 1 in 7 shot at this game. For your hands on your rope.
Wait.
Joe, now.
You can use your other hand.
You can use that. 2 hands, Joe. And this challenge is on. For some nice historical perspective, this challenge was last played in Survivor Boston Season 1 in the Final 5, where Sarah Duvall ended up winning after 1 hour 45 minutes.
Nice.
Hi.
What?
Are we
Pins and needles.
Look at my life.
All right,
Listen up, guys.
Yeah.
At 30 minutes, you take away the phones.
You're fucking.
This is my only distraction from the game.
Keep that in mind, you're at 10 minutes right now.
And I can't let go of this rope and it's been above my head for 10 minutes. Look at all of us.
No, you can.
They're gonna be home for 420.
Hey, how are you doing?
On 420?
I'm focused.
No, they're not.
I'm trying really hard because I don't know if this is gonna
That'd be
happen for me.
Can someone let go? I thought I should try. Anyways.
He's also
No, I want you to come.
What?
I'm okay. Yeah. I don't know.
Anybody feeling uncomfortable?
I have
Yes.
a headache, but I don't know why.
Got it.
Yeah, I don't know if this is
Caleb's
gonna
gonna be
happen
here.
for me.
And Roz very
What?
kindly asked if anyone wanted to drop, so if you wanted.
Yeah.
What a hit.
Everyone, mute your phones real quick. Just making a quick announcement.
Everybody listen up. All right. Here's the deal. If you drop now, you can get a clue to the hidden immunity item.
Guys, come on, that's a great.
Drop.
Clue to a hidden
What's wrong with you? Is it there right now?
Yeah, can we leave and find it?
We're going to count down from 10. 10, 9, 8, 7,
Guys, I'm gonna do it.
6, 5, 4,
I'm doing it.
do it.
Yeah.
2, 1.
Someone do it!
Brandon drops. So Brandon, before we get to this, you have the choice of either the clue is interesting.
I'm into
Of
it.
either a clue to the hidden item or an advantage in this game. It is up to you. You can get either one.
Hey, can I actually drop?
Okay, yeah.
Nope.
If I drop, can I get the other one?
Nope. If you drop, you're just out.
Wait, I'm sorry. So one's a clue to a hidden immunity
One is a
idol,
clue
and
to the
one's
hidden immunity
an
idol.
advantage.
Hidden immunity idol, and the other one is an advantage in this instance. Idol advantage. It's completely up to you.
I don't know what kind of advantage it could possibly be. It makes me wonder. What an idol, though.
Yeah, get that straight.
I'll go with
Catch that.
the.
Advantage. Brandon takes the advantage. Brandon, you can take a spot on the side. The advantage is yours.
Do we have to wait here the entire time?
Bram, let go. You don't gotta.
No.
If you let go.
And just like that, we are down to 6.
No.
Sarah, how you doing?
I'm good. I've reached a kind of a numb stage, and as you know, as Pink Floyd put it, I'm comfortably numb.
Ah.
Oh, say can you see?
And that's why.
Alright, well, I'm gonna drop. Alright, man.
Really?
Wait,
No, I'm gonna.
someone film it.
Go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I said it, so that someone could film it.
Okay.
Bram, you're gonna drop?
Yeah.
Bram, you gonna take a seat or you can head out. Bram drops out in an hour and 9 minutes.
Love you.
Love you all.
See you, Bram.
The death of your spouse, you're just like, it's my time. It's my time. It's like, goodbye.
Also, that too, like, you have a nice. If you have $10 million, you're gonna live a nice life. You're gonna be like, all right, I'm ready
Really?
to
Are you gonna
go.
live a nice life? Are you gonna spend all that on anti-slug
No,
protection?
you're gonna spend. I spent one thing.
Did Brandon?
Oh, Sarah, let go.
Are you serious? I was holding on to I was holding on to like a little bit of a string. I was. I felt.
I have another
the entire
dilemma right
time.
after this.
I
saw it let go to Sarah.
Okay.
Like, Sarah, let's go.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Sarah drops
You
out.
must fight,
I'm
dude.
sorry, Sarah. How does it feel? Like, how does
Yeah. How did your arm feel?
Not real. Not real.
Joe,
Yes.
how are you,
Sorry, Sarah.
how you feeling, man?
All right. If you drop out now, we are still offering the clue.
Oh, that sounds so. So, question.
Sarah's a little mad about that.
Is it like a new item?
I don't think
He's not allowed to say that.
Can't say, but this is the same clue that I was offering before.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna count down from 10.
Can you give like 20?
10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, clues, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
I don't.
This clue is no one.
I don't need it. Would have been nice.
I need it. So Stefan, what does that decision come down to? To decide not to take the idol.
Well, I want to be the last one. I want to survive this challenge, but I don't think I need it.
John, was it an easy decision for you?
Yeah, I'm pretty dedicated right now. I feel like I want to stick to this. Even on like a commitment level, I just feel like I've been doing this for so long, I want to finish it off now.
Did anyone even consider taking the idol clue?
Yeah, I did a little
I
bit.
really did.
No.
So then-
Joe, you said no, you didn't consider it. How come?
It's because, I mean, it's all down to like an individual game at that point. Now you have a target on your back if you have that. So I don't want a target on my back because Hannah went tonight, so I don't know if someone wants me to go on now. So I need to win fair and square if I want to stick around a little bit longer.
Great. Respect.
Very good.
That's the way to play the game.
Was that
That's good enough.
good enough? Can stop.
Is there a point where we are supposed to stop talking? Like after an hour and a half? It's just
No.
silent? Like a quiet place?
So, guys, I'm going to tell you a story of my second breakup in high school. All right, okay. So, my junior year, I was dating this girl named Julie, who was a senior, and I was a junior. And it had been about 3 months into the relationship, and like she was kind of like pretending like nothing had happened. Like she was just like we were just taking photos, and like
so weird.
yeah, I know, and like no, at first, and I go back, I'm like, hey, like what's up? And she just goes, well, you know, I just don't really feel like dancing as much anymore. Finally, she texts me on Sunday and is like, oh, we need to talk about plans for my prom. And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's talk tonight. And then like, so she calls me and she's like, okay, so like, what are we doing for my prom? And then yeah, and then we broke up.
Dude, good.
That was a long drawn out process. It's so long.
What time are we at?
Long. It's
12:02. I have a story.
It's midnight?
Yeah.
You guys. Someone needs to let go. Like, okay, Bram it is.
Yeah,
Joe, you down for Bram?
I'm down for Bram. I mean, he was supposed
I'm
to
down
win
for
this
Bram.
time, so.
Yeah,
Someone's gonna win immunity, guys. Like,
I mean,
someone has to win immunity.
the only thing for me to drop is who in the world voted for Hannah?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the only way that's going to get me down from this wall and trust everyone here.
did anyone here vote for him?
Someone did. There was 4 votes.
Oh god. Even one of us had to for picking me up.
So I guess I'll just keep standing here.
Yeah.
Wow, I actually feel fine with
You guys feel good?
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Roz, you wanted to all drop so you can make a deal on like who to get out.
I'm willing, yeah. It's just gonna say.
Well, then I'm making a deal who voted for Hannah.
What's this deal?
Yeah, what's the deal?
The deal is if we know who voted for Hannah, then we can all drop at the same time. I'll be fine with that.
No, someone's got to get immunity. You guys will have to.
No offense.
If we told you who voted for Hannah, then like, sorry, like,
How about like,
then you drop.
would you be bluffing?
What if we were bluffing?
Which one? We were bluffing, telling you who voted for
I'm so
Hannah.
confused.
No, I legit want to know who voted for her.
You'll find out.
Yeah.
I think I'll find out at the next tribal, to be honest.
Yeah, probably.
History. Oh my god.
Do you wear glasses or anything tomorrow?
I'm ready for this.
Oh yeah, boom boom.
Boom boom.
Boom, boom.
I don't know.
I mean, if we can all, okay, I'm gonna put the ones right here. I think it's fine. Okay.
Okay.
I'm jealous of wherever
If we
Kevin
can
is
all
right now.
just agree that tomorrow it's just those 2, and after that we can just go at it like the Hunger Games.
Oh god. Fair. I'm
I'm cool with that.
I'm into that.
At this point, it's just like a thing I want to do.
Well, you were part of the Hannah thing?
What?
Wait, then what?
We're all in this
Crossing.
group.
Oh, I
So
thought
it
you
makes
said
sense
something
for
else.
us to be the
Okay.
ones who.
Pull it out, bring it out.
Yeah.
And then,
We're obviously the ones who care enough to be here, even when you're out. And this is all mental. Like this is a mental challenge.
Okay.
I'm into it.
Wait, one of you does have to win immunity.
Okay, who wants to win? I'll drop first, to be honest.
I want to win. I'm a girl.
I'm gonna keep going.
I'm the last one standing.
Okay, so
I'm
it's
good with
down,
Bram.
right?
I'm good with Bram and Nick.
Down,
Down
pat. I'm definitely voting for him.
Alright.
Oh.
Joe drops. Joe is out of the challenge.
Alright, who wants to do it?
So Joe, after 2 hours and 25 minutes, you decided to drop.
Sorry. Yeah.
What brought you to that decision?
Well, you know, I'm sitting there going like, I really want to know who voted out Hannah. Okay, and I feel like this could be a great time to figure out who's done it. But at the same time, you know, I'm just sitting there thinking like, I need to just, I've gotten screwed over in the past, but I need to trust the people I'm here with right now if I really want to keep going in the game. Like, we're literally like breaking our arms. Like, it feels like someone's stabbing me right now. So
Is that
we're
what?
actually going through
That's why I'm
physical
not
pain.
letting go. I'm worried that might hurt more.
It actually hurt a lot. So
Yeah.
instead of letting go and I'm just gonna keep it up here.
I'm literally gonna keep it.
We're stuck in it.
I just gotta trust them.
So what's the deal, guys?
Yeah, is there a way that y'all can work it out to end it?
Oh, honey, I don't.
Roz is on the go.
We were down to 2.
It hurts so bad.
So close last week. Like,
It is down to Stefan and
Oh
Joe.
god.
Honestly, I would keep standing because it really does hurt.
It actually just like I was also like yanking it down. That
Stefan, alright at the beginning when you were
either
like,
way,
oh,
they're
John,
gonna
you're looking real weak. You're gonna drop first, huh?
John, how about if you do it? Whoa. I'll pay for your next however many meals with Max.
However many.
Stefan, you guys all came to like a decision. Oh, we'll all do this vote together. You both are still up here. What's keeping you up here right now?
Glory, honestly.
I want
there's
glory.
nothing-
I don't care.
feel
I
like
trust-
it's just glory.
I trust everybody here, like I really do. I'm for that choice, you know, Bram, Nick, great, let's get him out. But I gotta tell my teacher that I did something. Like
You did something.
The four of you guys sitting here, do you buy that? Just glory?
I mean, honestly,
Honestly, yeah.
Yes.
I'm so. I want to tell Ken I did something.
Hey, Stefan is ticklish.
He's touching me.
I'm not.
I'm not
Hey, no
ticklish.
touching, no touching.
Maybe you want to, yeah, touch me.
yeah.
Do you want to rock me too?
I want to leave the game of Survivor knowing that I won at least one immunity challenge. What? What's up?
Kiss.
I'm ticklish, don't.
Let's go. Let go. Let go, dude. You lost. You're a fucking scoundrel.
I wasn't even playing at that point. I told you, Stefan. I think if no matter what happens, oh my, this is actually breaking apart now. Wait.
Please, let's. No. Oh, you can't. Oh, you switch hands.
No, I
You
didn't.
switch hands.
I was pulling this out.
You let go.
That doesn't count.
You fully switched hands. You switched hands.
Yeah.
I'm not even playing anymore.
I saw him
You know
switch
what?
hands.
No, I didn't
wasn't
switch
that hand
hands.
Yes, I swear to
I
God,
did
you
switch
did.
hands. You know what?
Stevie's watching. Hold on. I'm coming soon.
Oh, he did. He did. Get out of here. No, are you?
Wins immunity. After 2 hours and 45 minutes, Stefan has won the challenge. Stefan.
I've been waiting for this.
All right, Stefan, you have a 1 in 7 shot at, it's late. You have a 1 in 7 shot at winning this game. You are safe at tomorrow morning's tribal council. As for the rest of you, one of you will be the 11th person voted out of this game.
Insert Bram.
You'll have plus Bram and Nick. Yeah. You have about 6 hours or so to think about that or sleep. You guys can go ahead and head out.
Okay.
Nick.
We're in this challenge and we've been holding, and so I end up dropping. And then I get told that you could either have this advantage or a clue to the immunity idol. Now, everybody else, not even my own team, knew that I had an idol already. And so I was like, that idol can can go kiss my ass because I already have it. But I'll take this advantage though, because an advantage is just another leg up that I could have in this game. So the advantage is at any point up until the top 6, I can block anyone's vote in the game, which is extremely powerful because I have an idol and I have this advantage. My team doesn't know that I have an idol. I'm debating on telling them or when I'm gonna tell them, but we can at any point change the whole game up. I drop and I get my little advantage, but I wanted to stay the whole time because being in Survivor is all about knowledge and knowing what's going on in the game and knowing your position and everyone else's position. All we wanted was for Joe to drop because he was a key player in this. He cannot win. He cannot have immunity because he's going to come back with a vengeance, and we don't want to let him get his bearing. I didn't say anything though because again, Joe at this point does not know who eliminated Hannah and who didn't. So I'm sitting there like, Roz and Stefan, they're saying what they need to say, which I'm like, good on them, but I sat myself out of that one because I did not want to be a part of the rhetoric of eliminating Hannah.
And I was like, I'm not letting go of this rope until someone at least tells me what happened with Hannah. None of them are saying anything. They're just like looking around, and then Roz goes like, why do you need to know? And I was like, well, obviously you're the person that voted for them. And I was like, well, that puts a really big target on Roz. She's slipped past my radar a little bit too long, and now I think that she has a little bit too much control in this game. I thought about it, and I was like, well, maybe it's not that bad. And I was like, wait, that's 5 votes. That's all of Yord. So obviously Brandon had to switch. So, you know, crap. So I'm guessing my alliance with Brandon is gone. And for all I know, that he could have just been lying the whole entire time. He could have an idol. I mean, we eventually told Brandon about it, about the idol that Hannah found. So I don't know if he was like, hey, I gotta get rid of this because he wants complete control of the game. I have no idea.
I think I started off as a pretty low key player. Even like in my head, I was like, oh, I'm just playing the game for fun and everything. But I think I've been on the power controlling side the entire game. So, I've been with Brandon and Roz the entire time. So like they're also on my side. They're also in the control and power little circle. But I'm not afraid to at the last minute have to vote someone off to benefit me. So yeah.
Joe, I was the one that got him off of that wall in the challenge, which was my only reason for holding on that long. I knew that out of Stefan and John, Stefan was gonna win. My literal only job was to get Joe off of that wall. And the thing is, like, oh, I feel so bad. But they always believe the lies. Like, they go to the people who know are liars. And then they're like, okay, well, they're telling me this, so they have to be telling me the truth. But I'm down to play, like, it's how you play. Like, I don't know. And he wanted to believe it, so he did believe it, and that's not my fault.
I really do think that the final 3 vote is going to end up just being based on who they work the closest with. But I also think a big part of it is story. I think when it comes to me and like my story, I'm not branding myself as Mete. I have been playing the game, and I feel like I have been playing the game very respectfully, but I'm also, like, I'm not stupid. Like, I'm playing Survivor, and I have been sneaking around and like trying to like make sure like things go according to how I plan. When I was with Mete, I felt like I had a strong grasp on the game. But then when we finally got to merge, everything got shaken up. But now I'm with Yord, or the old Yord at least. And again, I kind of feel like I have that grasp on the game. And this sounds like super kind of like weird, like mastermind, and I never thought I'd be in this position. I'm really trying, but really at the end of the day, I'm just trying to play the game, and I'm just trying to see that things sort of go my way. If I were to have a final 3 set, so it would be me, Stefan, and then Brandon. I am very sure that they would want me to be a part of their final 5. And if it got to a final 3, well, that's just really dependent on me winning that last challenge or managing to kind of persuade one of them into voting out the other.
Yeah, I did write Bram's name because I knew that everyone was going to do the same, even Joe and Hannah. So again, the same situation happened with Molly. I didn't want Bram to be out of the game, but like being only one member who doesn't want Bram to be out of the game doesn't change anything. So just like I went along with other team members. They all have alliance, and it's too bad that Joe and Hannah realized this too late because I knew this before. And I was trying to tell them, they didn't listen, so that's what you get.
Like, maybe we will vote for Nick. He is a strong individual competitor, and also, like, he's just another one who had ties to Laku, so he would be another one that would just be good for that. But he's very trustworthy, and he's very, like, if you tell him who to vote for, he'll vote for that person. So that would be like a benefit of keeping him on.
My name had been thrown around already in the previous tribal. There's a definite chance that could happen again if I don't talk to people soon. And I have talked to people. We've talked about putting Nick off and Joe and all these people. Nick just needs to go. It's like, I've been saying it for so long, and I was like, Nick just needs to go.
It's still not very clear cut. I think Bram is playing the game way too cool. I think he's playing it very confidently, always kind of like, he's always ready to throw a name out there. Joe, again, is also one of those people we cannot possibly have in a Final 3. If Joe's in Final 3, it is an instant win for him. I have to think in terms of like a Final 3 situation, my biggest threats are definitely going to be Sarah and Roz. Those are the people that can kind of like fight me on that sort of story aspect. I think once Roz gets there, she can use I was the leader. I was really like really guiding Brandon and Stefan through. Like, it deserves to be me, and I think people can look at that and think that's very valid. So I think I need to get both of them out before it comes time to that Final 3.
Going to these next 2 or 3 tribals is that we have numbers against everyone else. So there's 3 of my core, and then like John and Sarah, that's 5. I think there's a downside to voting every person off is a thing. So I think with every person's voted off, it's going to create more paranoia with the other players, and then like therefore they're going to have to, you know, figure their plan out more, and like maybe even talk to more people to strengthen their alliance or whatever.
Even though we said Bram and Nick, I may try to do something, because I mean, if you think about it, it's like we got Bram, Nick, me, and we just need someone else to flip over for this vote for something to happen, like a tie, because we're at 8 right now. And I'm gonna just write a little something, and then try to get someone to sway in our direction. I feel like Sarah and John are definitely a swing vote. John, if he's smart, will listen to me and try to vote my direction, because he will not be able to compete with Roz or Stefan at all. I may try to do something tomorrow morning to help turn the tide.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hope everyone's feeling
there's
well
nothing good about
this. So, Joe, how have things changed after last tribal council?
Oh man. Okay. Okay. It's so early in the morning. I have stuff written. So okay. So a lot has changed. Definitely, Hannah going was a humongous blow to me, because I was like, what? May I read?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you got stuff to say?
I do. I do have some stuff to say. Okay, so a certain someone said yesterday, when followers notice that leaders have their hands in too many places and there is a leader in the game of Survivor, eventually those followers will vote out the leader. Sadly, I do not even believe I have any form of alliance anymore. It is hard to trust people and know exactly what is happening in this game. But I can tell you this. I am calling upon everyone in here who wants to shake things up a bit. Once again. I know we quickly planned to vote out Nick this morning and Bram tonight, but right now, I say during this tribal we plan once again. There are 4 Yord, that is if you count Sarah as a swing vote, as Brandon once told Hannah and I, and 3 Laku and 1 Mete. I am calling for the 3 Laku members, myself included, obviously, and at least one other person to vote for Roz. I believe she is one of the people controlling this game.
Okay.
Okay. When I asked who voted for Hannah yesterday during the challenge, she refused to answer by changing the topic and asked why me finding out would change anything. She also controls the talks of who will be eliminated from the game. Imagine when eventually one of your names pop up. Roz probably will be the source of that conversation. We have given her too much power, and power corrupts. That being said, if OG Laku votes together and we receive 1 extra vote for Roz, we could have a tie on our hands. And if 2 people vote with Bram, Nick and I, assuming that Bram and Nick will vote with me, that is majority. I do not know if Old Yord is sticking together, and if that is the case, Sarah, I know you would love a good shakeup, and John, judging from last night, I know you would love a good story, and this would be a great time to have a story. And finally, Brandon, trust goes both ways. Hannah and I trusted you when you said that you would vote for Roz and Stefan in a heartbeat when you could. Well, can you trust me now and vote with me?
So you're calling on everyone except Roz to possibly join you?
Possibly.
Okay. Roz, this doesn't sound good for you, does it?
No, but I do have to say, like, the one thing I do really gotta defend myself with is, I was not the only one to defend myself last night. And I just like to start the conversation because we'll be sitting there for literally 17 minutes without mentioning a single thing. Gotta start.
I gotta say, you don't seem worried about this after Joe's brought it up.
Honestly, my heart's beating really fast, so...
Bram, you received 3 votes last tribal council. Does it seem like an opportunity for you to get even further?
I think so. I mean, seems like they were gonna, I was gonna be fine today, or this morning, and, tonight I would go home. But, I've been waiting for a shakeup for a while. We gotta have some fire.
John, what's there to consider in Joe's offer?
You're right, like, it would change the game, like, pretty heavily going forward.
I think you're gonna have to think at this point is, what does your final 3 look like? Because I'm pretty sure Roz has an idea of what her final 3 looks like. At this point, I have no idea what my final 3 looks like. There's 2 spots open.
Do you want to say what you think her final 3 looks like?
Honestly, I think that final 3 looks like Roz, Stefan, and Brandon. So eventually that your names are gonna come up at some point. And in order to basically change the tides and you have like a better chance to get to the top 3, this is the time to do it.
So Brandon, Joe's looking at you 3, you, Roz, and Stefan, saying like we can make a move on this right now. Does that worry you?
It does. I mean, just because it's just like that's his assumption on what's going to happen, and we don't know what's going to happen because the little idiosyncrasies of the game can get in the way of that. Like, yeah, it's worrying a little bit.
Stefan, Joe mentioned to Brandon about trust going both ways. How important does trust play into this vote?
I think trust is very important right now, but also in some ways not, because it's easy to break someone's trust in a matter of just like seconds. I think it just, it's all about numbers.
Nick, who do you think is the biggest threat right now?
The sun. No, to be honest, I'm just thinking about all this stuff that's going on in here, and I think that Joe is right. And I think that they're using the same strategy we should have done before when we had like 5 local members, so we could have done this. Yeah, I know, my bad. I think it's time to change the way they're doing this.
Joe, you came out here making this big statement, taking this risk. Do you think that could possibly make you the one voted off tonight?
It could.
Today.
It could. Yeah, this morning.
Yeah, this morning.
I mean, it definitely could, but I mean, sometimes you just gotta take chances, and sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't, but as long, I didn't want to not try. So I feel like this would have been a missed opportunity if I didn't do this right now. And it could also be a missed opportunity for other people. Just think about it, just for like a minute or 2. You guys gotta all think about like what you want to do as your individual game, and just know that people will betray you in this game. It's the game of Survivor, but this is a time that you can actually take matters into your own hands right now. So That's really what I gotta say about that.
All right, we all ready to vote? Let's vote. Bram, you're up.
All right.
It's Roz. So everything has been said.
The original plan was to scatter it because Joe told us he'd be voting for Nick. Therefore, I said I would vote for Nick, and Bram would vote for Joe, I think. I don't know.
I really don't know what else to say. I'm pooped. So.
If I gotta go out, it better have been to something exciting like that. So I'm honestly not even mad.
We can't be super emotional about eliminations in this game.
It's time. It's time.
If anybody has the immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so. Alright, once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted off will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. Are the votes? First vote. Joe. Roz. Joe. Roz, we're tied. 2 votes Roz, 2 votes Joe. Joe. Roz, we're tied. 3 votes Roz, 3 votes Joe, 2 votes left. Joe. Eleventh person voted out of Survivor Bus in Beacon Hill. Joe.
I have a question.
Not yet, not yet.
No.
Joe. Tribe spoken. Go ahead.
I'll come back to my wallet and phone.
Okay.
Alright, well, looks like an offer was brought up, wasn't taken. Looks like the lines have now been drawn. You guys can grab your stuff, head on out.
I'm really happy I got to play this for a second time. Unfortunately, it didn't work out where I could get to the top 3 again, but I think I played a better game this time. I think I learned a lot about myself, and you know, I learned a lot more about trust, and that's what this game is about. I just grew as a person, so thank you for that. So.